Okay, in this video, we are going to learn about list comprehension. So, what is list comprehension? Is where you can, it is actually a way for you to modify a list, okay, so that you don't need to use a function like map or filter or lambda. For example, let's say you have this list, okay, let's say you have this list and you just want to output it using list comprehension. You can just use something like this. Of course you need, because list comprehension will produce a list, so all this operation must be inside a square bracket like this. So you need to have a variable so that you want to have a loop, for example, for x. So remember, this x is actually will be used by this one. Okay, so for x in num, this is from the num, from the list that we have here. So let's try to run this. So it's just going to output whatever the list that is, or whatever the element inside this list. Okay, because you just want to get the x here. Now this is a list comprehension. Okay, let's say you want to let's say you want to add the value, want to modify what is returned by this x here. Let's say you want to modify with by just adding with 2. Okay, so you will get a new result, which is every element that is taken out from this list will be added with 2. So this is the result that you have. Okay, and also there is another way. You can also like do all sort of operation here, multiply and all that. And so there is another one, which is the use of x in, for example, if statement. Okay, let's say you don't want to do this operation. Okay, let's just get it back to the simple one. Okay, let's say you don't want to do x plus 2 to all of the elements in the list. You just want to apply to only a certain amount, a certain elements in here, only if it match this criteria. For example, if x greater than, for example, 3. Okay, so what happened if you run this? You will see that once it returns this x, it's going to return x, the first element. Okay, the first element is not greater than 3, so it will not evaluate this. Okay, so what you will get, then it will go to the next one, which is 7, which is greater than 3, which is true, and now it's going to do this. 7 plus 2, you got 9. Okay, and also 8 is also greater than 3. Okay, so it will add it with 2, so you have 10. And then 1 is not greater than 3, so that's why it's going to skip this part, this element. And the last one, 6, is greater than 3. Okay, so you can add, it will add 2, so you'll have 8 here. Okay, so that is the x plus 2. Okay, and there is another one where you can use range. Okay, so for example, you can also do something like this. Let's say you have a list that is inside another list. For example, you want to do something like, okay, the original value is x, okay, and the next value is x plus 2. So what happens is that, like before, it's going to take when x is greater than 3, which is this one, 7. Okay, 7, put it here, and 7 plus 2 is here, so you get this one. So that goes to the next list, which is 8, which is greater than 3. Okay, x plus 2, which is you get 10, and then this one is 6 here, which is this one, plus 2 is 8. Okay. Okay, so another one, which is let's say you don't want to use something, you don't want to use this list here. Maybe you have already a range, so you can actually put the range from here. Let's say, for example, range of 11. Okay, so what happened is that, so you can remove this. Okay, so when you run this, you will see that it is going to produce a list. Okay, let's simplify this. Okay, let's say I remove this one. So you are going to get a list of, if for x, the range here will produce, remember, the range will produce 1 until 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 10. Okay, so for every element starting from 1, because 1 is not greater than 3, so it will not pick that 1. Okay, so until when it is 4, so it will pick the 4, 5 until 10. Okay, you can do operation plus 2 here, so you will get this. Okay, so that is using the range. And also you can also, let's say you have a list of cities. Okay, list of cities, for example, New York, okay, or Tokyo, or in London. Okay, let's say you want to do something like, you want to capitalize, not capitalize, you just want to make this list in uppercase. Okay, so for example, for x is just a name, you can name it whatever you want. Okay, you can put s in city, so it's for something like this, it's just going to list out the exactly like this one. But let's say you want to do something like uppercase for all of them, upper, so it's going to produce the uppercase for all of these. Okay, so that's you can also do this capitalize if you want to capitalize. Okay, so that's it about this list.